the house. The one they talking about, word of mouth. The boxing playhouse, without a doubt. All the latest and greatest boxing news, that's what it's all about.
What's up? What's up? This is Boxing Playhouse, and I'm Sakura A. I got Emilio Santana.
What's up? What's up?
He's with me tonight, guys, and this is After Dark series, and I can't wait because we got so much news tonight. I'm like shocking myself that there's this much boxing buzz going on. What do you think about all this?
Man, I'm so excited. I've been waiting for a weekend like this coming up. You know? But the thing about it, you gotta have that DVR ready because you got networks battling for space. You know, you got fights on ESPN, Zone. You know what? I forgot the other network, but it's like three cards this weekend. You know, a night full of boxing. So, all you boxing fans out there, you know, this weekend it's gonna be a lot to tune in for.
Huh. Well, you know what? I was thinking that maybe you should watch one set of fights on the Zone, and maybe I should watch the PBC card on Fox, and then we still can record the ESPN fights. What you think?
Hey, whatever works. I want to see every fight.
That was a test. You are not supposed to watch no boxing without me. You see how he failed that test, guys? How you gonna watch a fight without me?
All this boxing, we probably end up watching some of it on Sunday. All these fights, man.
Yeah, because we know how you get down.
I just hope nobody spoil nothing. I'm trying not to find out and somebody end up saying something, or I end up looking at Facebook or something. So I want to watch all these fights and hope nobody spoil it or let me know something before I see it.
Well, it's possible because it did happen to us. Remember when we was watching, we were on at the Top Rank card, the same time the Top Rank card was,
right. And
they told us that Verheyen had just had a KO.
First round knockout.
Oh my God, I was so damn mad. Like, why did they do that?
That's because of the Tuesday night fights was going on.
Thursday
night fights.
Yeah, and they got us because they told it.
We was on that night, and one of our fans was on watching and spilled it.
Yes. So we're letting you guys know up front, do not be a spoiler alert. If you don't know for sure that we've seen something, do not tell me the results, and definitely don't tell him the results because he is worse at getting all upset if he even thinks you said something to hint towards who might have won.
Well, I don't think, since Thursday night is kind of off for a minute, I don't think we might, run into that problem for a little while. So.
True, but people still contact us on the weekends, and we're behind because we're DVRing or something.
Yeah, I can't even look at a text message or something because somebody's gonna give it away. So
I know
if I don't answer your call on the weekend, don't be mad because I'm trying not to know anything until I see it.
So we got a lot of topics tonight, all boxing. Clarence, we see you. What's up, fam? And I see Martha. I also see Alvin. Let's see who else we got in here with us tonight. These players. Oh, okay. I also see. Well, why come I can't move my thing up here? Oh, okay. I see Rob. He's in the house.
What's up,
Rob? He says, hashtag Boxing Playhouse fam. Cheers to Thursday nights after dark. You right about that. Sakura with the straight curls. Well, we trying to do little different things here and there. We got to keep it spicy. Let me know if you like it or not. Okay, and then let's go ahead and start with the beef that was going on between Roy Jones Jr. and Mike Tyson. These guys is up there in age, and they doing beef. You got Roy Jones Jr. and he's basically like, I am not fighting in November because we made an agreement that we were fighting next month in September, and I was gonna be basically getting paid on the fact that nobody was gonna be in the crowd too much. There wasn't no gate prices. Now Mike Tyson and them team is trying to say, well, hey, we're going to move it to November because we want to possibly have a crowd and maximize our profit. So, you know, of course, Roy was like not having it. He's like, where's my extra coins? I had other engagements lined up for the end of the year that's had to be changed. I've got, I've got to get my camp going again, my training camp. And on top of that, you're talking about the fact that you're going to charge money for the gate now. Where is my percentage increase? So anyway, that went on for about 2 days. So we were in limbo. Oh, here we go. Is this fight happening or not happening? Then all of a sudden, bam! Roy Jones says, hey, he comes out with a video. He's like, everything's good. I'm going to be ready, and I'm going to be ready to cut a food like I always do. So I was like, okay. He said he was able to negotiate and get his price. So, I mean, social media does have its purposes. Right. I mean, that only lasted 2 days. What do you think about that situation? Did Roy really want to fight? Was he trying to back out? Or did he really just want his extra coin?
I believe he was a businessman too. So I believe Roy wanted, he wanted to maximize as much as he can out of this because who knows, he might not, this might be it. You never know with Roy, but if this is it, I'm sure he want to maximize as much as he can get out of this, because a lot of people are going to probably tune in and pay-per-view numbers going to probably be high. And then another thing, he said he had other engagements that he had to cancel out on, which cost him money. Mm-hmm. So, I can see him wanting to be compensated for other engagements that he had. Another reason I thought he needed a little bit more time, to get in shape, because Mike looking like a beast. And I think Roy, in 2 months might really help Roy out, So we'll see. Hopefully everything stay into play, and hopefully the fight come off in November. So we'll see.
All right. So we got some comments, guys. We just asked, when you want your comment read, make sure you include at the end of the beginning of your comment, hashtag BPH. Right. So we got Rob. Okay, and Rob says, Boxing PlayHouse fam, with the critical acclaim for the Michael Jordan and Chicago Bulls documentary series, The Last Dance, and the critical acclaim for WWE's Undertaker documentary, The Last Ride. Do you think boxing could receive a critically acclaimed documentary series about the Four Kings?
Ooh.
Leonard, Duran, Hagler, and of course, Hearns.
Definitely.
Hashtag BPH.
Definitely.
What you think?
Rob, that's my era. That's my favorite era in boxing right there. Each one of them guys can have their own, documentary. So the Four Kings all together, man, that's just a whole, you might have to stretch that out for a couple weeks, mm-hmm. all the footage and information and, behind the legacy of the Four Kings. You talking about Marvin Hagler, mm-hmm. Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns, Roberto Duran. So definitely, I'm excited just hearing that, man. I hope they put that together.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we got Cherie. She says, "Where's the boss babes, Alita and Lita McDaniel?" Well, you know what? The boss babes was supposed to call me back like 2 weeks ago. I ain't heard a damn word out of them. So you asked them where they at.
Boss babes.
Yeah. Shout out to them. And then Cherie says, hashtag BPH. Well, thanks, Cherie.
That's a boss babe right here.
Oh, you're so sweet. I appreciate that. Okay. And then I'm just little old me, Sakura A. That's it. Mm-hmm. Okay. So we got, let's see, Clarence. He also says BPH. All right. So let's see. If we got Ayala on here. Alex, what's up, Alex? How you feeling tonight, man? We got a lot more topics coming your way. All right, so who you want to talk about next? I mean, we got some Keith Thurman and Bud beef going on now.
We can talk about that one right now since you're on it.
All right, so
the $10 million question.
Mm-hmm.
The $10 million question. Did Keith overprice himself? What y'all think? He only made what, 7 to 8 million with Pacquiao, and we're in a pandemic.
Well, apparently Bud Crawford feels that yes, he did get paid. He did ask for too much. But I got a little theory on this. But let's read the comment from Terrence Crawford right now. Okay, so he says, at Keith Thurman Jr., you funny making it seem like you wanted a real fight with the king, knowing you wasn't gonna get. So damn 10. Oh, well, I guess he was trying to say, knowing you wasn't gonna get no damn $10 million. Look, whenever you ready for real, I'll be here to smash your ass. And for the stupid people that would think I ducked him, y'all go fall off a cliff. Y'all stupid. I mean, Bud is really like, he got a lot of tension in his voice. He called people stupid around here. Come on now.
Wow. He had Gary Russell calling him out last week. Now Keith Thurman calling him out this week. So,
well, I kind of like the beef. I like them talking back and forth to each other and everything, working something out for the boxing fans to look forward to, or at least getting us excited about anything these days. I mean,
how do y'all feel about that? How do you feel, Secure? You feel like do we deserve the $10 million, or is sometimes a lot of guys overprice themselves when they don't really want that work? But absolutely. Keith Thurman, I believe Keith wanted. I don't know what's, the $10 million, you're gonna have to come down a little bit. We're in a pandemic and this ain't Pacquiao, so they're gonna have to hopefully they can meet somewhere and get the fans what they want.
Well, okay, here's my take on this situation. I mean, most people look at that and they'll feel negative about this fight ain't happening. But for me, I'm looking at it as positive because at least that's confirmation that some type of offer was sent over to Bud for somebody from PBC to fight him, which is on Top Rank. So I'm like, wait a minute, this is good. I mean, just because somebody, start out asking for $10 million, they could really be thinking in their mind that they want like 8 or, 7. True. So, it's all about negotiating.
Yeah,
and
you throw your highest number out there first, so that's true.
Yeah, and the other thing is that, if there is a possibility of a Keith Thurman one time versus a Bud Terrence Crawford, who ain't down with that? I mean, give them whatever they want. I'm ready. I mean, we have been dying for Bud to be seen with a prize welterweight, fighter for some time now. And everyone he fights is always something that's got to be said. So last fight, we decided, we didn't think he was fighting anybody of substance. But then that guy ended up dropping Bud, remember? Yeah. And he had to come back. And then, it was bad news for the opponent. But at the same time,
that dude dropped Bud in that last
fight. He got dropped in that last fight. And we thought that because we didn't know the person, we didn't know the boxer.
I forgot about that fight.
Yes. But now, if you get a Keith Thurman in there with him, who's going to say he didn't fight nobody? I mean, Keith, one-time Thurman, former unified titleist. Right. Pat. He fought Pat. Right. It's like if you get Thurman on your record, then you get to also inject, his fight before that was Pac-Man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then he won against Sean Porter and also Danny Garcia. So, like, this would be a great way for Bud to get established in this welterweight division and stop the naysayers and non-believers.
Right. But how would this fight play out? Keith been out with some injuries. He was out a good while before he fought Pacquiao, and now that fight has been over a year now. July made that fight over a year. I know Bud hasn't been as active, with the pandemic going on, but
yeah,
who would y'all favor right now in a fight like that if it happens sometime this year?
Well, I don't see the answer to this right now, but Keith is saying that he feels more healthier than he has in quite some time. He said even though this is his prime, which we saw his interview with Brian Custer. So he said, even though this is his prime, he's been, you know, he's been battling different injuries for some time.
Right.
But he feels like right now that, you know, he's had, because of COVID and the extra time he's been allotted, he feels that he's going to be 100% by the time he gets back in the ring.
You know, also on the this weekend on one of them, I think the Sean Porter undercard, you got the young dude Jared Ennis Boots.
Yeah, Ennis
coming up now. He's a young dude, a welterweight. My man Big Will had posted something on him earlier this week, and this guy, a lot of people, you know,
sleeping on
this guy right here. You know,
he's Philly.
Yeah, they've been talking about Virgil Ortiz a lot, but this guy Ennis Boots is dangerous. And he's going to fight on the undercard.
That's probably why they're not talking about him, because he is dangerous.
This young dude here, mark my words, in another year or so, this guy going to be in the mix, man. And he's going to be, I feel like he's going to be the boogeyman. This young dude here, I see some talent in him. And a lot of people ain't saying his name right now, but pretty soon, you know, he's going to be a household name.
True.
And he's going, you know, they're going to have to recognize this man after a while, you know, because he's coming up. So, y'all watch out for him. He's fighting on the undercard. I think I don't know if it's Sean, so many fights this weekend. You know, I think it's the Sean Porter undercard. One of them undercards he's going to be on.
Oh, okay. Well, we got to look forward to that, because that's something that's coming up on Fox this weekend. So make sure you check out that Sean Porter fight.
And it's Jared Boots, welterweight, young welterweight.
Prospect Ennis
out of Philly.
Boots.
Yeah, he's coming out of Philly.
All right. So we got Clarence. He says, make the fight.
Make the fight.
Thurman versus Bud. I'm with him on that. And then let's see, Alex, he says Keith can't never stay healthy or off the injury list, and he's laughing. Then we got Linda Platt. Yes, that icon.
Photographer extraordinaire.
Yes, I love her. And she says, just shared on my Facebook. Thanks, you,
Linda.
darling.
Everybody that's tuning in, make sure y'all share.
Absolutely.
Like and share.
And then we got, let's see, Adilio
Cruz.
Yes, he says, I appreciate your forum. You guys, deaf on top of your game. Went at it with World Combat Sports earlier, and he blocked me. No, because he couldn't handle the smoke. Do you guys believe in blocking your fans when they
bring the heat? No.
You know what? You go first, because we got different opinions on that.
As long as a fan ain't saying nothing disrespectful, nothing racial, I ain't trying to block nobody. Your opinion, I respect everybody's opinion. I got mine, but we're not going to tolerate no racial antics or disrespecting nobody. But yeah, you can have your opinion or prediction or whatever. You know, we embrace all our fans. We ain't trying to run nobody away. So, Adilio, that's how I feel about it.
Well, Adilio,
and I appreciate what you said.
That's Emilio Santana. Okay, he's a peacemaker. Me, on the other hand, I got a little, killer instinct, which is this is why I love a boxer that has a killer instinct. I mean, you come after me, I'm gonna have to come after you. And then if you screw around there and say something against me or Emilio, or if you talk about my hometown, K-Town, or that's North Carolina for some of y'all that don't know, or you mess around and talk about my city I live in now, St. Pete, it's going to really be some ruckus. So we can sit here and talk about Keith Thurman all we want to, but you mess around and say the wrong thing about Keith, you are in the house. Okay, so you got to respect the house. We're St. Pete residents. Okay, so you're not going to say but so much about Keith One-Time Thurman. I'm going to tell you that right now. So you got to respect the house. That's all I'm saying. But I don't like to, I don't want to disrespect anybody and have to block them. So, as long as you keep it, to where we can disagree about, whether this person or that person is going to win a fight, I have no problems with you, man.
Right.
It's no thing. And I got my Uncle Ed on here tonight. Edward Sutton. He says, hello, y'all. I am back. That's right. Ed, where you been, Glad to see you.
Dallas, well, Uncle in Dallas, Texas.
Yes.
Dallas, what's up?
All right. And then somebody said, damn right, Sakura. Oh, they are on our YouTube channel. So make sure you guys subscribe to YouTube as well. We have Boxing Playhouse YouTube and Twitter that you can go to as well to see the podcast. So we're on to our next subject. And I thought I saw one of our fans talking about this earlier.
What's up?
Well, he said he's talking about, No-No's fight got canceled.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Noemi Vasquez versus Esparza, I think. There they go.
Oh man.
So she had posted, yesterday that her fight got canceled, and we got Rob, because he loves female boxing too.
Oh,
so yes, he says, unfortunately, that next Friday's Golden Boy fight, which was going to be a week from now,
right.
It was canceled. I was especially looking forward to Noemi Vasquez. Yes, no, that's right. Yeah. St. Pete, born and raised, baby. She right here from our territory, Rob, and versus Marlene Esparza, and Jorge Linares versus Javier Fortuna. Yes, that was heartbreaking because I just knew that Linares versus Javier Fortuna fight was going to be we got people that didn't even want to fight either one of them. They was in negotiations, both of them at different points in COVID period to fight Ryan Garcia. And when both of those fell through, we then found out that, hey, they were like, let's just fight each other. Mm-hmm. And I was like, hell yeah. I thought it was a great idea, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
But then Linares, he got COVID, guys. And so their fight had to be canceled. Mm. They were looking for a replacement for Javier. But I think the main and major thing that occurred too was that the numbers in California for COVID started shooting up really bad. But we're hoping that Linares is able to make a full recovery, as he was hospitalized with COVID. So I'm pretty sure it was a more serious case. But we did see him recovering, so he should be back soon. All right, let's see. What is anybody saying anything about that? Oh, Clarence says, relax, Sakura. Hashtag BPH. I am. I'm just telling him. He asked me. Okay, he asked me would I block him or not. I'm just telling the truth. All right, I got Roro Sanders, our brand ambassador in the house. What's up, Rowena Sanders?
Hey, Pooh.
That's Pooh Bear for us. But a lot of you guys would like our brand ambassador, and you can find more information out about her on our website, www.boxingplayhouse.com. And then you can just /brand ambassadors, and you'll see our lovely, beautiful Pooh Bear, Rowena, with her own section. So thanks so much for joining us tonight. And then Alana, she says, hey, from Milwaukee.
Ooh, Milwaukee.
All right, I love it.
Hometown right there. What's up, Lana?
You know what? I seen someone earlier. They were from Australia. They were sending a shout out. So shout out to you. I did see that a little earlier. Oh, Melbourne, Australia.
Wow,
sorry about that.
From Australia.
Yes, that is Jock. He says, hashtag Boston Playhouse. Hello from Melbourne.
Man, what time is it over there, Jock?
Oh, man. They they like 14 hours ahead of us.
Man.
Or 18. It's one or the other. I know it's like the next day time? Right now.
Is it still morning?
Yes, it's like
there?
morning there, like 11, I think, in the morning.
Oh, okay.
So Adelio also said something about Gary Russell. So Gary Russell has been in the news all like the last 2 weeks. He's either like, talking crap about Bud Crawford and wanting to fight with Bud, or he's targeting young prospects that's real young in him that is about to start their professional career. And the young gentleman has been on our show, and he is an upstanding boxer who is very intelligent, guys. So I don't know why he would pick on Jaleel, But Gary Russell has been in the news lately, and Emilio, he says,
stuff.
how do you feel about the reality of Gary Russell fighting Bud, or is that just troll talk? Well, apparently he claims that he sent an offer over to those guys. So I'm not sure if that's going to work out or not. He's so low down at the, not so low down, but he is a lightweight. Like, no, not even a lightweight. He's like a super featherweight right now.
I saw a video of him the other day. He talking about, I'm walking around right now at 140. He said, I'm going to keep eating. So I think Gary want to get paid. Gary tired of these guys avoiding him. He wants a big name. Him and Bud had some history back in the day, you know, a little beef back in the day. And I think Gary's just ready to fight, man. He wants the name and he's just ready to get it on.
I mean,
because these are his best years right now, man. He got to, I like what he's doing, man. Call everybody out.
We don't want him calling out. Really, he's a super featherweight, and he's calling out somebody that's at, welterweight. And they're a big welterweight at that.
Look at Henry Armstrong. He went all the way from lightweight, fighting dudes all the way up to middleweight, whooping them all. So
and Durant.
If you got them hands, man, and you can back it up, go ahead. I'm all for it.
Well, how about, I feel like there's enough people down at super featherweight and lightweight that he can pick on just fine. That it literally would be only a couple of, pounds difference. I mean, you're talking about going from 128 to 130 to 135. You got Lomo in there. There's a perfect rematch right there that could garner a lot of money. Like, yeah, like take your revenge. You need your revenge.
Gary tired of waiting.
Gary,
He's tired of waiting on these guys. Gary ready to make something happen, man. The waiting is just too much.
Okay. I hear the waiting is too much, but part of that is his own fault. Okay. Like that fight with him and Leo Santa Cruz was supposed to happen for all of us fans a long time ago. You know this.
Right.
And what happened to that fight?
I don't know what happened with that fight there, man. Was Tank offering? Tank was offering Leo something too. So Leo was in the middle, like, I don't know which way to go. Tank get this Tank money, or the Tank money was more than what Gary was, and just politics.
Because Gary wasn't talking no junk. So like pretty much you could see now Gary wants to, get his name out there. He's, trying all types of tactics. I think this is nothing more than some tactics. And my friend Jules with Heavy Bag Boxing, he says the same. He says he thinks he's just trying to get, a huge buzz so that he can like raise his profile in order to garner, a big fight.
Right.
So I'm going to have to agree with him. And my uncle, Ed, he says, what's up about Tyson and Roy Jones? Are they on or off? Okay, they are on. Roy Jones says that they have compensated him for the new date and for him rescheduling some of his appearances. So he said the fight is on and he gonna cut a food. So he came out with a video. I heard it out of his own mouth. He's ready to go. So the November 28th date is on and popping. Okay, so let's see. Jacques says, I got Boxing PlayHouse as my notifications. I have to catch your show. Whoa. Well, we have to see you up there too, Jock. Thank you so much, all the way from Australia.
Man, appreciate that, Jock. Much love, bro.
All right, so I see that we got the beautiful Dahlia Duran in the house. What's going on, Dahlia? Yes, the beautiful Dahlia says, big shout out to my family, Palomino Steak for Emilio.
Hey, I can't wait.
Why you keep teasing him with these Palomino steaks?
Dahlia, we're gonna do it the Hall of Fame weekend, right?
That's right. We got the Hall of Famer, Florida Boxing Hall of Famer. She will be inducted. That's November 6th to the 8th. That weekend is coming up. We can't wait to see her put this ring on.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that ring, Dahlia. Can't wait to see that.
Yes, it's gonna be time to party. It's
just like your daddy had the same ring like your dad, huh?
Yes, and don't forget they make history as being the first father-daughter to be inducted into any boxing Hall of Fame.
Right.
So that's amazing.
That's the first, ain't it?
Absolutely. It's the first. So, we're getting ready to get ready for our very, very special guest. We can't wait to talk about all the great things that she's helping to create for the WBC Cares Non-profit Organization. But first, you know what we got to do?
What's that?
We got to thank these sponsors, honey.
Okay.
What I'm trying to tell you is Boxing PlayHouse would like to thank our sponsors. Okay, we got Brittany Photography.
Brittany.
Hit her up. It's Brittany Mingo Photography. She's on IG as well as Facebook. We got T and K Boxing Promotions.
Okay.
They are hosting the first night of the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame night with professional bouts. We can't wait for that. So we'll get to see all this Tampa Bay favorites like Clarence Booth and Ivan Franco. Maybe a chick or two in there too, you know. Gotta have some ladies.
I'm sure it's gonna be some ladies. They always show ladies love, so I'm sure we'll see something.
Yes, and we don't know who else they might have. I mean, I'm hoping that it's Taz, because it'll be her debut.
Yeah, hopefully. We'll see.
So I also got Making It Happen Mobile Detailing. And, you know, COVID be in your car hiding. You don't want that Rona in your car hiding. You got to get to calling that mobile detailing place and have them, like, clean all that out of your car and make sure when you sit down, it's nice, crisp, and clean, so you're not taking any germs back to your home. So make sure you get with Making It Happen Mobile Detailing. It's Marion Moody.
Have your COVID free.
I like that. All right. So we're ready to introduce our guest for the evening.
We gotta have our special word for tonight, though.
Oh, okay. The key word for tonight. You want it to be Cares or you want it to be WBC?
WBC.
That's right, because we got the WBC in the house. We got to toast to this. All right, Rob, get your drink ready. Okay, so we got a video coming up first, and it's going to tell us a little bit about our guest and her work. And then we're going to introduce her. So, without further ado, this is the WBC Cares Non-profit Organization.
The WBC has dedicated its worldwide platform not only to sports, but to global outreach. We are a cloak of many colors, religions, races, and ethnicities, and our goal is to empower those who are in need and inspire our community. The WBC honors those who are world champions, as well as those who are champions of the world. Here are some of the programs, and we are grateful for all who participate. WBC Cares is the umbrella under which WBC philanthropy programs thrive. Fueled by compassionate volunteers, inspiring and aiding the community. Guided by Jose and Mauricio Sulaiman, chaired by Jill Diamond. In a partnership short of a miracle, the WBC has joined with the Pope's Foundation, Scholas Ocurrentes, to build better young lives through boxing. Heralded by Mauricio and Hector Sulaiman, we reach out to the most difficult areas and bring wisdom, encouragement, and respect. Heroes of Humanity Global is to honor those who put their lives on the line for ours, performed heroic deeds, and made a perceivable difference during this pandemic. We applaud their courage and determination and honor them with recognition. Heroes of Humanity Mexico honors those Mexican citizens whose spirit and dedication have helped their countrymen during this horrible pandemic. The Jose Sulaiman Fund gives to the needy members of our community. Managed by an outside foundation, it is one of the most highly minded and helpful actions, bringing dignity to our fallen heroes. The COVID Food Fund helps supply needed food and sustenance to the boxers who have suffered greatly during this pandemic. It has saved many from starvation and malnutrition. Mental Health Task Force, under the USA Congress, is headed by Representative Grace Napolitano, which is one of the most important partnerships we have. It focuses on anti-bullying, anti-drugs, teen suicide, as well as all brain illness. Unity for Peace brought our WBC champions together, making a strong, positive statement in response to the unforgivable racism exhibited around the world, particularly in the USA. We are a proudly diverse sport and united by peace and love. BoxVal stands for the values we learn in boxing: respect, sportsmanship, and diversity. We consider it our most important teaching tool as it represents the WBC's ideology. WBC Talks was created to keep our community together and safe during these isolating times. We reach out with important members of our boxing world and keep the flow of love and information going. The Suleiman Award was to honor Suleiman, a young brilliant fighter who lost his battle to cancer. Many courageous boxers with strong, inspiring character submitted their stories, and the one most like Suleiman's was awarded the prize by Suleiman Promotions.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're so honored to have the WBC Cares Non-profit Organization's first chair. That's Miss Jill Diamond Chastain.
Yeah.
Jill.
Hey.
Hi. How you doing?
How are you doing, beautiful
Nice
people?
to meet you.
Nice to meet you. And you showed that video, and now I feel like I'm going to cry. I wanted to be all cheerful and happy, and that always makes me feel like I'm going to cry when I see all the work that the boxers do. I mean, everyone has this feeling about boxers because they're warriors in the ring, but they're family people, they're loving people, and they volunteer. This is all volunteer work. They never say no. If they have the time, they never say no. It's amazing.
That is really amazing. It's beautiful, the work that they're doing. And I guess they're WBC Cares ambassadors. And
exactly.
Yes. So I saw Christy Martin.
WBC.
I did say WBC. Oh,
where's my drink?
Go get it. Go get it.
I missed my cue.
I'm sorry. Okay. So what we were going to ask you, the main thing is just like, how did you become a part of this organization with a nonprofit part of the organization?
Well, it's kind of a crazy story because I started boxing after my husband passed. I mean, as exercise. I walked in the gym, I saw all these beautiful women, and I'd never heard of any of them. So I went and I said, I got to fix this. So I kind of went eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and I wrote an email to the World Boxing Council, and they actually answered me. And they said, why don't you come to the first convention and just talk about the way you feel? And I did. And I walked into this auditorium, and there were thousands of people there, every race, color, religion, cultural background. And I thought, you know, they always say we are the world. They were the world. It was unbelievable. And when I looked at it, I thought, this is an amazing platform to do good for people. And I spoke to Jose and Mauricio, and we started WBC Cares. And our first visit was in 2005 at Children's Hospital, LA, with the beautiful Gennaro Hernandez, who's no longer with us, and Eric Morales. And we went through the hospital, and at first they were not happy to see boxers there. And then after the visit, they said these guys were the best ambassadors they ever had to come to visit the pediatric ward. And it took off from there.
Wow. I mean, what an inspiring story. Like, it wasn't like you had like an amateur background in boxing, or anything like that. You were just coming from a loving place. I mean, there's no better way to come into something like this. It has to be your passion.
Well, it wasn't just my passion. It was the passion of the WBC too. And my father-in-law was a boxer, so I had a little bit of boxing in me. He was a boxer at a time. He fought Maxie Rosenblum twice and beat him. But really, it was way before they had mandatories. And these when guys fought like every 2 weeks, just all over the world.
Right.
But they are so supportive and so wonderful, the WBC. And my partner in crime now is Chris Menzor, who has been an incredible support, and we just keep it going. We have ambassadors all over the world, and people will either come to us with a project or a gym that they want to support, or we'll think of something that we want to do. But it's been blissful. It's really been wonderful.
Yeah, we saw you in action in the beginning of that video, having fun with it too.
It is fun.
Yes.
It is fun. And the thing is, it's all voluntary. Nobody gets paid. We all do it because we love doing it.
Yeah, that is amazing. Okay, so we got Boxing Meets Beauty, and they say, Jill is my inspiration and role model for how to spread love through boxing. And
I love you, Loopy. They are an amazing group. An amazing group. I was at their last amateur tournament, and if you would have seen, there was something like 75 little girls going into that ring, standing so proud. It was so beautiful. It's just so beautiful. It's a wonderful group. Wonderful.
For sure. Her and her sister are doing great things.
Blanca. They are.
Blanca. And they are doing humanitarian things to me too, because they're taking, youth, the small girls, and giving them a way to protect themselves as well as to feel confident about themselves, whether or not the boxing works out or not.
That's absolutely the point. We're not there. We have amateur leagues with the WBC and all of this. We're not there to create great boxers. If one or two come along, it's their passion. That's fabulous. But the point is to give them the tools, the discipline, the respect, the diversity, the ability to feel confident in the world. And that's really what boxing is about.
And then we have Dahlia Duran, the beautiful Dahlia. She says, thank you, Jill. I'm honored to have you on the show.
And I think Dahlia has in her living room a huge Dahlia has in her living room a huge box of stuffed toys that we've yet to give out. She's amazing. She's amazing.
Yes.
Jill, where are you located at?
Well, right now I'm in Mexico. In this pandemic of a perfect storm, I got blown to Mexico. I live in New York. But I'm in Mexico, and I was really lucky to be here during the convention. It was great.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, that's a story in itself, because COVID has really turned the boxing world upside down. And just as you said, you're not a boxer, but you're flying here and there trying to work with the World Boxing Council. And here you get stranded in Mexico, it's like, a lot of boxers are stuck in different countries too and can't get into the States for fights.
Absolutely. I don't know if the general public knows how difficult it is for the sport. And of course, what we think of first are the athletes. I mean, they have a shelf life. They have to be able to do what they do, because time will pass and it will be too difficult. And even in New York, we don't even have the gyms open yet, because, they allowed the NBA and other sports to practice, but they don't acknowledge professional boxing as a sport, and it's very difficult to get them in the gyms to actually work out for a fight, which is a terrible situation. Hopefully they're going to start opening the gyms again.
Yes, I heard that it's supposed to be this coming up Monday with a lot of restrictions. So
a lot of restrictions, and there has to be some restrictions, but it should have started months ago when the other sports were allowed to practice.
Yeah, definitely. And we got Clarence. He's from New York, and he says that the boxers he spoke to are saying that they had to travel to New Jersey if they really wanted to get into the gym and do some sparring and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's not an easy task either. You got to take risks, taking transportation and, transits and things like that.
I don't know why these athletes don't get the respect that they should get. People just don't understand. They're the hardest working athletes probably in the world, and they just don't get the respect.
Yeah, and it's very sad that happens. And that's one reason why I wanted to have you on the podcast, because I think it's important for people to understand that boxers give a whole lot more than just what you see in those fancy lights and inside the ring. I mean, they're giving their time. They're already away from their families a lot. And then they're still taking out time to do some of these missions that you and WBC Cares has, set up to do.
Absolutely.
It's
Absolutely.
important.
It's important that people know that, that because they only see what they see on television,
Right.
and once I am a fight supervisor, and once you go in and you really deal with these people, most of them will do almost anything. They're very generous of the heart. Many of them came from very difficult backgrounds and they empathize. They
Yeah.
really get it. They get it. And there's no sport that's more diverse. There's no sport that has rules that really give you basics for life ahead. So, I'm a huge fan of the sport and the people who are in the community.
Tell them, Jill, you got to set these people straight and let them know just how some of us boxing fans feel when we're excluded from televised boxing, or like most football and baseball, basketball fans, they don't have to have 50 million subscriptions.
It's true.
See
It's true.
whatever fight they want to see for a specific weekend. We got some questions for you. I got Rob,
Sure.
Miss Jill. What has been the most inspirational experience you've had since joining the World Boxing Council?
God, it would be absolutely impossible to single one out. I think the campaign that we did during COVID is one of the best. And I did it with Chris. We did something called Heroes for Humanity. And we asked people to submit the names of people that they thought really made a difference during the pandemic. And reading those letters were humbling. That's all I can say. What people are willing to risk for other people with all the negativity that we read now. There are so many people out there that are giving their lives and their time for other people to keep them safe and to take care of them. We had 7 overall winners. We had hundreds of nominations. And 2 of them were doctors, one who passed during COVID, knowing that he was at risk, having had a heart surgery and cancer, and he still went in to help. Another was also a doctor who had to live in isolation and also got COVID. I mean, as bad as things are, I'm a firm believer that we're going to fix this. We're going to get through it, and that there's so many giving people out there that it's going to be okay.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's sweet. That is really sweet. Okay, go ahead.
Jill, when the WBC came out with that diamond belt, was that because of you?
No.
It wasn't?
No, but I got to tell you something funny. A few years ago, one reporter who will remain nameless, who was dishing on the WBC, said everyone could have their own belt, even Jill Diamond, and it was nothing to do with me.
That was my next question. If you had one of the green belts.
No, we go crazy for belts. We go crazy for belts, and a lot of them are really, really beautiful. I mean, they're artwork. I mean, the ones that are done.
Green belt. I love it. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love all the flags and the different. It's like including everybody when you see all those flags laid out on that belt like that. So I have to say, like, yeah, I want a WBC belt too.
I do too. I don't have one either.
That's what he just asked you. Did you have one?
No, I don't have one.
No.
I don't have one. You have to fight for that belt.
Sean Porter loved that green belt. Sean Porter.
Yeah, and I love Sean Porter. Did you see the convention at all? Did you see Sean singing?
No, we missed that.
Oh my God, we did. We Are the World is our theme song, and many of the boxers sang for us. And Sean, first of all, I must tell you, I want that jacket that he wore because it was unbelievable.
It was a green jacket.
Oh my God. Talk about a diamond belt. It was a diamond jacket.
Wow.
Even the boxers, like you were talking about, Gary Russell, he sang for us too.
Wow.
Y'all had y'all own karaoke going on.
Absolutely. They stepped right out of their comfort zone and they sang We Are the World. The shining star was Franchon Cruz. She can really sing.
What's her name again?
Franchon Cruz.
Oh,
she is.
Yes.
She sings. She can really sing.
With her man
super middle.
Right.
Yeah.
She can really sing.
She won that fight, by the way. I think
she is the champion now. So,
great. She's the champion again. Okay, that's great.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. And a great singer.
They correct things, Jill. When they correct a mistake, I love it.
You know, mistakes happen, and it's not for the reasons that most people think. It's not like corruption or anything like that, but we're people. And sometimes people make mistakes. You know, that's why what we're doing now is we have remote scoring. So even during a regular fight, we're going to have five outside judges who are going to be watching the fight and scoring it as the fight goes. And it's going to be, and we're going to do it and show it to the public as the fight goes, round by round by round. 5 experienced judges will be scoring simultaneously to the judges who will be at ringside. So if somebody says this was a mistake, we have absolute, besides the tape, we also have the opinion of 5 other judges to see if they think that there was a mistake made.
That is an awesome idea. I love every bit of that. And the fact that you're willing to make sure that there's 5 additional judges, you know, available to do that. I mean, that's unheard of.
It was started
program. Is it called a certain thing, or
it's called just remote scoring? Scoring. But you know, it started out of necessity because given COVID, sometimes it's very difficult to get the judges you want to get or the referees you want to get to be at a fight because people have to quarantine. They have to usually be from the same country. And sometimes they can't even bring in judges. So they started it out of necessity and they said, we like this and we're going to continue doing it. So even when there are 3 judges live at the scene, they're still going to have people scoring it remotely. It won't be counted.
I love that.
It won't be counted by the commission. It won't determine the winner, but it's sort of a check and balance kind of thing if there is some sort of situation going on.
Absolutely. I mean, that's all the fans wanted to be able to say is that, you know, it's more fair judging. And
it's transparent.
You know, it's very transparent. So, I mean, any way that we can improve that, I'm all for it because I want to bring some of these dormant boxing fans back to the sport so they can see like just everything that they're missing.
We need some good, exciting fights to bring them back, and they'll come back. It's just hard. It's starting to pump up again now. We've got some amazing women fights that are coming up too, and that have happened. But it's starting to happen. It's just going to take time. Remember, we have a different business model than MMA and other sports. We don't own the television time. So it's very difficult, commission to commission, global sport, platform to platform, but it's happening. It's happening, and I'm very excited about some of the things that some of the promoters are doing to make it look exciting.
Okay, we got a few comments over here, Jill. We got one from Jacques Vanguard. He says, Jill Diamond, you have started a wonderful thing. I would love to get in contact with you about making this movement down here in Australia.
Well, we have some people down in Australia and contact me. And definitely, let's improve. Let's get bigger. Let's help more people.
Yeah.
So,
and I like Australia because Susie Hewitt lives there.
Absolutely.
She's one of my favorites.
Of course. And Jeff.
Comment here from Bianca
Gutierrez. She knows Bianca.
Jill is a boxing angel. She said Jill is a boxing angel. Jill should get the medal for saving a lot of us through boxing.
Oh, that's so sweet.
That's nice.
Go ahead.
I have an incredible platform. It's not me. It's, you know, there are other people. There are ambassadors all over the world. We couldn't do it without them. It's the Suleiman family. It's Chris. It's a team. We've got a great team. We've got a wonderful group in the UK who also do a lot of boxing with people who are disabled or otherwise abled. We have wonderful people all over the world. I mean, like I said, the reason I can get through this COVID thing is because with all the negative things that are going on now, there's also an outcry of a lot of people who are really willing to put it on the line and help other people.
Step it up, yes. Look, she's pretty and humble. Isn't that sweet? Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
look,
beauty.
I know I sound like, you know, somebody who like is totally optimistic. I'm not. I'm a New Yorker. I'm a cynical person. I love this stuff because it works. I've seen it work. And I've seen people come forward with amazing things. So that's why I'm in it.
Absolutely.
Yes, Frank Sean did steal the show.
Frank
Sean did.
She said Frank Sean stole the show with her singing.
Absolutely. We weren't stupid. We featured her. She was great. And John Stracey also did a great job from, the champion, the ex-champion from the UK. Everyone did a great job. They're boxers. They're not singers. Even some people stood there and just spoke the words. But I mean, kudos, great. Because we really asked them, they could have thought, oh my God, they're going to make a fool out of me. But the song was great. I'm sorry you don't have it. I have to send it to you because it was a lot of fun.
Please do. Yes. And we'll
Yeah,
post
please.
it too on our page.
Jessica McCaskill, good singer.
Jessica, okay. And congratulations to her for her new 5 titles. My goodness. She won 6 titles at once?
Right. And what a story that is, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
Absolutely.
So we got Rob. He says, for Miss Jill, if she could take a girls' road trip with 3 of your WBC sisters, who would they be and what would be your dream destination? Oh, wow.
Well,
that's a good one.
Good question, Rob.
In order, I can't single out any of the women because I coach here in the women's division. And but I would take all of them. Let's see, where would I want to go to? Well, I love Thailand, and by coincidence, we are doing our first live convention in Thailand in March, and I am so looking forward to that. Thailand is a place that I totally love, and I take them all. I would take all my champions with me.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Where would you go?
Thailand.
Thailand. Oh, you said Thailand.
Of course. After all this, massage, great food, great people. Come on, Thailand. Gotta go to Thailand.
Girl, I'm ready to get back to Vegas. I'm missing my energy. It just gives me, life when I'm out there.
I think that's the main thing we're all missing is the energy. I mean, when I left New York March and April, beginning of May in New York was so depressing, not just because of the obvious things, but because it's a city that is filled with energy. Mm-hmm. It was like a ghost town. There was no one on the streets. It was just so awful to see a city like that.
So sad to even think about.
But it'll come back. It'll come back.
I know you're right. I'm ready. I'm ready to make a move.
I'm ready too. I'll go with you to Las Vegas. That's a good destination too.
You, me, and beautiful Dahlia and the Gutierrez twins.
Oh, okay. I would take Dahlia. I would take Lupe and Blanca. I would take Nancy Nazia. Okay. I can't mention any boxers. But there are a lot of fabulous women. Michelle Rosado.
Women behind the scenes. Okay, I had a question for you because I would like to know what is the most exciting fight that you remember seeing in person?
I think I've seen a lot of fights. I think in the male division, just because it was astounding to me, was Deontay Wilder and Ortiz. When he dropped he dropped Deontay like 3 times or something, and then Deontay came out and won. Mm-hmm. My mouth was like totally open. All of those fights are great, but I was like, I couldn't believe it. In the women's division, there have been actually quite a few. But Alicia Napoleon's last fight was jaw-dropping. Jelena, when she fights, is always like, you're going to have an amazing fight. Okay. There just so many of them. Many that you don't see on TV and don't hear about. It's very hard to single out.
Oh my God, you're so right. Because we watched, we were in Memphis and we got to see Ava Knight versus Crystal Hoy. And we were
That's a good fight.
That was a good fight. We were like blown away. I mean, they stole the show for sure. Like there was no other boxing match that equaled what they put out that night. Those women went at it.
Right. No, I would definitely say that. And when I think of it, I always think of this round, that round. I mean, like there was one of Clarissa's fight with KO was pretty exciting too. KO Menigan. That was the last HBO fight. That had some exciting moments to it. Had some exciting moments.
Yeah, for sure.
But I tell you, women's boxing has changed so much because I started with the first fight we had was Jackie Nava. She was our first champion. And then at the first convention that I went to in Cancun, it wasn't a convention, it was called Celebration of Champions. and they had women's fights for the first time on the main stage. And the fights have changed so dramatically now, and part of it is because there are more women to choose from fighting each other. More people are into it. They're being trained differently, and the women are just spectacular now. And it's nothing to take away from the talent of the women before, but they didn't have the opportunity, a lot of them, that the women do today, or the training that the women do today. It's just evolved so beautifully.
Absolutely. And we got some more going to do for sure, but we got to put these ladies on the map. So
Yes.
our contribution is once a month, we have ladies night, and we focus on, boxers, female boxers, or individuals like you that work behind the scenes with boxing. So it's like an amazing experience, because so many people are getting to know just how many female boxers there are out here that aren't getting recognized.
It's true. And that's why I got into it, because when I first walked into the gym to box, the only one I'd known of was Layla, Christy, and Mia. And then I said, who are these other women? I have no idea. I see all of these women at the gym. I'd never heard of them. Now, of course, at that time, and when we really started getting into it in the early 2000s, there were a lot of amazing boxers at that time. But they never had the opportunity to be seen. I mean, some really wonderful boxers.
Yes, we need more promoters, local promoters, to take chances, and we need more news outlets, boxing media, to take that leap and market them more.
Well, it's not just a boxing problem. We're doing a call to action for women symposium in the spring, and we're calling in women from all different sports, because it's a cultural issue. It's not just a boxing issue.
That's not boxing.
No, it's harder for boxers because it's global. There's no league. It's hard to connect everybody together, which is why we have women's conventions. But this one, I want to bring in all of the people from She Is, Time's Up Now, women from different sports, so we can kind of talk about how to build a fan base, how to get people more excited about women's sports. Absolutely. You can't solve everything, but hearing the problems sometimes brings some results, some solutions.
Absolutely.
I'm talking a lot, aren't I?
No. Don't you stop, girl. You better not stop. We need it. Look, sometimes we have interviews and it's like you got to pull out every little morsel of information. They don't want to give it up so easily. So we appreciate that.
Well, we've got a great, go ahead.
My question was with Rob. He also had the question: do you think that there'll ever be in an upcoming year or two a real female boxing pay-per-view fight where they're the headliner?
Well, we've had women headliners. I mean, last weekend we had Clarissa and Miss Casco. We've had Terry Harper. Coming up is the fight that I'm so amazingly looking forward to, which is Delphine and Katie, which was one of the most controversial fights. They're all on DAZN.
Exactly. So, the Passoon versus Taylor 2. And that is this weekend on DAZN on the undercard of Dillian White versus Povetkin. So
we call it a co-main. It's a huge fight. I supervised their fight before. I couldn't tell you who the winner was. But I'm really looking forward to that one.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, Jill, that I remember Layla Ali fought Christy Martin in a pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's true. And at that time, Mia fought on pay-per-view. I mean, there was this little pocket of time before everything kind of went down where there were a few women stars.
Right.
And they got wonderful money. But the problem is really there was no one to fight. Right. And they were considered, and for me, my goal is not to see even more women stars, but when you get a card where you have 8 fights and only one is a woman's fight, I mean, there's a middle class too. You have to work your way up to being a star. They should have, if they're having 10 fights, make 3 of them women's fights.
Right.
So, that's really the disparage.
Correct. And you can't get a fan to be excited when they only know one female fighter. Even if there's like 3 other talented people in that division, they're only knowing that one. They're gonna think that that one star is always fighting, somebody.
Always like Clarissa. Like Clarissa. Clarissa's a wonderful fighter, but people know Clarissa, but they don't know the 5 other people
Right.
Well,
Because her
maybe
fight,
in her
her
division,
fight
that
with
would also be equally entertaining and a great fight.
Hannah
What?
Gabriel. The fight with Hannah Gabriel was really good that she had, but people
Yeah.
didn't know Hannah,
Well,
and Hannah ended up
no.
dropping her. Yeah.
Now Hannah's no one not that you have to take Hannah seriously. You have,
Oh,
but again, it's only like one fight on the card. So, you know, some of the undercards should be women too. And that's what we're missing.
we spoke to Lisa McClellan, Gerald McClellan's sister,
Why?
and
Right.
she was telling us
Sister.
about you guys helping her with Gerald's possible treatment that he wants
Yep.
to do. But I know that she was saying that COVID has stopped, you know, that process from being worked out completely. But I just want to thank you for that. That is an amazing thing to be doing or contributing to help Gerald possibly, you know, gain some type of increased function. So
Well,
she was also thanking you guys for that in
that's sweet.
the episode that we did with her.
We have a boxers fund, a Jose Sullivan Boxers Fund, and it's managed by an outside group, the Nevada Community Group. But many boxers, you can download the on the WBC site. The forms are there, and we give out money to many boxers during the year. They apply, and we try to cover some of their medical needs and mortgage needs and things like that. But we've been doing that. It's run by Alberto Leon, who is our legal counsel, and we had that. We have the COVID food fund. We got emergency money to get money to people who just weren't even eating or anything. And we also tried to get boxers out of certain areas they were stranded in. So, I mean, we're working as hard as we can. And it's really hard because there isn't that much boxing, you know.
Absolutely.
So, but we're working as hard as we can.
And I thought that that was a great thing because of the fact that, you know, they have started doing research and realizing that there are benefits from the hyperbaric chamber for, you know, fighters that have had cognitive issues. So, I mean, to be a part of that too, with that's like an amazing thing that more people should know about as well. And shout out to Ring 10 as well for also assisting that family.
Absolutely. There are a lot of groups, Ring 10, Ring 8, all over the country, where people try to do what they can. And in fact, there's Simon Block in the UK is produced a beautiful song and a beautiful video that he put up. And he's trying to get enough money to put together a boxer's home for aging boxers, like the actor's old home.
Yes.
Yeah. A lot of people in the community have ideas and really try to help.
Well,
they
please
really do.
send information as well so we can try to help get that out there. I mean, Boxing Playhouse, we want to help too.
I know, and you do just by making it public. Of course. Of course.
Before I ask you something, Jill, I see Jock. He wants to know if he can contact us to get information, you know, about you. He wants to get in contact with Jock.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, we're going to go ahead and let Jill tell us exactly how people can find WBC Cares on social media and website.
It's very easy. It's WBC Cares. IG, WBC Cares. Facebook, WBC Cares. Twitter, WBC Cares. And you can send a message and we always answer. That's how I'm involved. The WBC answers every message, even one that came from New York from a woman who's a music producer thousands of miles away. They answered it. I'm here. We answer every message.
Wow, that's amazing.
Jill, I had a question.
Pretty good guy.
I got a lot of people on that follow us, and they're boxing gamers. And we heard of the new boxing game called Esports Boxing Club. And we heard that the WBC is involved with this. Do you know much about that?
I don't know that much about it because the partnership was just made. They announced it at the virtual convention, but they are partners in this boxing game that's coming out on the eSport game. That's really all the information I have. But if people want to know more, they can always write to the WBC at contact@wbcboxing.com. They will answer.
Yeah, I was reading. They were saying
go to the web. If you go to the website, wbcboxing.com, I'm sure the information is on that.
Okay, because I was going to say that's the way some fans can get a belt, because I heard the WBC is going to have a real belt with, you know, the tournaments going on with the game. So I thought that was amazing.
Sounds right.
Yeah, a real WBC sanctioned belt. So I said, man, that's
Well, that's another kind of champion.
right.
Yeah, fingers champion.
Exactly. Hey, biggest sport in the world.
Mhm.
Gaming
Esports,
is
biggest
huge
sport in
right
the world.
now.
Gaming,
Yeah.
huge.
They're making a
huge.
lot of money with gaming now.
They are. They are.
So, can you tell us anything that's going on right now over in Mexico that you guys are working on? Because we heard that you guys were helping out the legendary boxer Benavidez. Is that his name? He had a drug addiction, and you guys
Yeah.
were helping him.
We had been helping him, yes, and he's fine. He had a fight. He came in a little overweight, but
Okay.
we have a clean boxing program, and if somebody isn't clean, and we have psychologists, we have nutritionists. Philip Goglia is our nutritional advisor. We're partners with UCLA, and if someone needs help, we try to hook them up to the right people and get them help. I mean, it's hard. Boxers are young, and we all make mistakes, and sometimes mistakes are accidental. You're taking a supplement or something that you think is clean, and there's a trace element, and you get busted on it.
Mhm.
So information, education, that's really what it's about.
Right.
Absolutely. And then
That's what,
I was talking about the boxer that fought Oscar De La Hoya and them that's had a drug issue. We talked about him last week. I forgot his name.
Oscar.
Yeah, he had a serious drug issue, and they said that you guys were helping put him into a drug rehabilitation center, and then
I don't know which boxer it is, but
I know. I'm sorry,
right.
I forgot his name. It's right on the tip of my tongue too, and I can't remember.
I think I know who it is, but I wouldn't say his name anyway.
Yeah, okay,
I
no
mean,
problem.
these are things that people pass through in their lives and hopefully come out good.
Yes, I mean, the reason we heard about it is because it was all over the social media, that he was having issues. But like I said, the positive part about it was that you guys were there to assist too, and also, make connections that his family probably couldn't do on their own. So sometimes you just need support as family.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yes. So
absolutely, it helps.
Jill, you be around a lot of fighters. Do you have a favorite fighter?
Now you're asking me another question I shouldn't answer. But I am particularly fond of Sean Porter. There's no doubt about that. I mean, who would not love Showtime Sean? I really can't single anyone out. I mean, I can tell you in terms of some of the retired boxers like Israel Vasquez, you could not meet a more humble and fabulous human being. I mean, Layla has been incredibly. Christy Martin is probably one of my very, very favorite. I mean, who's been through more than Christy and come out so incredibly well.
Good people.
Yeah, she's really amazing.
Absolutely.
She's allowed. She's come on our ladies' night too.
Yes, great.
Yeah, so
we had some drinks. We had a good time.
Drinks, her and Lisa, and we just had a fun time.
They're great. They're a great couple.
Absolutely, yeah, very fun. Okay, we got Clarence, and he says he hopes to see Miss Jill at the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame this year.
I almost made it, and this is where we are. I would love to come.
Well, they rescheduled it for November, so we're all crossing our fingers and praying that these COVID numbers are going to decrease so we can have a great time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We need a great time.
Exactly.
We need it. We got to keep recharging, refueling. We need a great time.
Yeah. Okay, so anybody have enough questions?
We're good.
Okay. Well, then we're going to go ahead and let you go, Miss Jill. We thank you so much for your time tonight. And just send us any information that you want us to help get out there, or any volunteers you need, anything.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I had to get Jill back
You're
on
an
a ladies'
amazing
night.
person. Yeah, we want you to come back on ladies' night because that's a lot of fun with other ladies too.
And then I can bring them with me to Thailand. So it works out perfectly.
Yeah, we got to go to Thailand. And next time you'll have your drink.
Okay, I'm going to get one. Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, and thank you so much for your hard work. That is the WBC Cares Non-profit Organization's chair, and that is Miss Jill Diamond Chastain. I love your last name. I love saying it's like so.
Well, that was Chastain was my father-in-law, Clyde Chastain. Go to BoxRec. You'll see I wasn't fooling about that.
Yes, we definitely will look him up. So
okay,
please, guys, make sure you subscribe to Boxing PlayHouse, and we are also Boxing PlayHouse everything. We got YouTube, Twitter, IG, plus Facebook, and our website is all Boxing PlayHouse. Please go and subscribe to us. And until next Thursday, we love you.
bye.
All right, Jill. A pleasure having you on.
Thank you so
you.
much.
My pleasure.
I hope to meet you soon. She's gone. I hope to meet you. Forget it. I was saying I hope to meet you soon.
Mask off.
I couldn't hear you. Oh, she's gone.